Deji reacts to YouTube stalkers videos. Let's watch this. Let's go. Let go.
Nick Crowley. Wait, what? Oh, shit. Alright.
YouTube stalkers videos, okay.
It was 2:46 p.m. when the ground began to shake. For residents of Anagawa, Japan, earthquakes were nothing new, but this one was different.
What the fuck?
It carried with it a violence that none of the locals had ever felt before.
Okay, and
by
this
the
was
time
on
the shaking
YouTube.
stopped, everyone in the city seemed to be left in a momentary state of shock. This was especially true for the nearly 160 Chinese workers and students that had recently moved to the area, with most having never experienced any earthquake, let alone one of this magnitude, who had recently been hired as trainees at a company called Sato Susan, a company that sold fresh seafood.
Join the action.
Oh my
and get
god!
a £40 casino bonus when you deposit and play £10. Enjoy top slots.
And having been at work at the time of the quake, they frantically ran out of the building and stood in the street desperately trying to figure out what to do next, unaware of the fact that the real horrors were still yet to come. In Japan, it's not just the earthquakes you have to worry about, but the tsunamis that often follow, and usually the bigger the earthquake, the bigger the wave. And given that Anagawa was right on the sea and...
Wait. Do earthquakes lead to tsunamis? Okay, hang on. Do earthquakes cause tsunamis? Yes, earthquakes underwater are primary cause of tsunamis. How though? To tsunamis. To tsunami. Why is there a T there, bro? The fuck? To tsunami. Why is it? Is that a silent T? What the fuck? Has anyone ever seen a silent T before? That's a weird shit. Who made that word up?
Women were now standing directly in the path of an impending...
Who made the word? Japanese origin. Okay. Well, I don't know why there's a silent T.
Thankfully, their boss, Mitsudo,
okay, hang on,
standing directly in the path of an impending disaster.
What?
Was directly on the shoreline. These women were
okay, I'm not.
Anagawa was right on the sea, and Sato
okay, let me
bigger the earthquake.
Bigger the earthquake. Okay, cool.
And given that Anagawa was right on the sea, and Sato Susan was directly on the shoreline, these women were now standing directly in the path of an impending disaster. Thankfully, their boss, Mitsudo Sato, was well aware of what was to come, and quickly he yelled to the women to seek higher ground.
Okay.
But given their unfamiliarity with the area, Sato knew that he would have
These are the Chinese women, right?
The group readily listened, and they quickly followed.
What did he say?
That he would have to be the one to lead them there.
Okay.
The group readily listened, and they quickly followed Sato as he led them up a set of stairs on a nearby hill, where they eventually reached a shrine that overlooked Anagawa and the sea. It was the highest point in the area, and should keep them safe from what would likely be a massive influx of water. And sure enough, as they neared the top, Sato's fears were already coming true. As the sea had drastically retreated, it was now beginning to push forward.
Okay, wait, what is a tsunami? Hang on. Oh, okay, so it's that. I thought it was like the circle thing, the wind circle thing, but it's just hella waves and shit.
But despite understanding this,
man like
it
Zach,
wasn't a deterrent for Sato, as once he deemed the altitude safe enough for this group of women, he then turned around and began to walk back down the hill towards the slowly flooding city.
Sure.
The girls
towards
yelled at
the
him
flooding
asking where he was going, which is when he revealed that down below in his home in Anagawa were his wife and his daughter, who were now directly in the path of this unfolding disaster, and he was going to save them. The girl screamed out to him, begging him not to go, as things had already become incredibly dangerous.
Oh shit.
But he didn't so much as turn his head, as he stepped down onto the street and disappeared from their view. And it was at this time that one of those girls standing high atop the hill began to record.
When was this?
Oh my.
Why is it in black and white?
Darkest videos. 8.
marshal is investigating a blaze in Georgetown. 2 people found dead inside the home, and so far it's not known how the
The
fire
man
started.
in the garage.
The
It was
man.
just past 5:30 a.m. on the 17th of February 2021.
Okay, this is the second video.
When residents of a small neighborhood in Georgetown, Ontario, were woken by the sound of sirens blaring. One man frantically grabbed his cell phone and
Wait, someone said react to Calagrass Squid Game. Did they do a Squid Game? Okay, wait, you know what? I'll check it after.
rushed outside to record the unfolding scene, where he was met with a horrific sight. His neighbor's home was fully engulfed in flames.
Why do I
It
feel
must
like
have
I
happened
know
quickly.
Okay, hang on. Let me look
The
in because
unfolding scene, where he was met with a horrific sight. His neighbor's home was fully engulfed in flames.
Why do I
It
feel
must
like
have
I
happened
know
quickly,
this?
as by the time rescue workers even arrived on the scene, there was already little hope of saving the house, or any of its occupants.
The audio is low.
It would take hours before that blaze was finally quelled, revealing the charred devastation inside, as firefighters would find the remains of 56-year-old Christina Rirak and 59-year-old Andrew Rirak within the home's garage. The cause of this fire was initially unknown, but
Why were they
quickly
in the
situation
garage?
was deemed suspicious when experts determined that the fire had started as a result of some sort of explosion that had happened within the garage where the couple's bodies were found.
were they trying to leave
This was later confirmed by security footage obtained from a neighbor who lived across the street,
in their car?
capturing the moments when it suddenly ignited around 5:27 a.m. There was clearly something off with this case, and things only became more sinister following the autopsies of Andrew and Christina, which revealed that they hadn't actually died in that fire, and instead, both of them had been stabbed to death, with Andrew also being badly beaten.
Oh man. Wait, someone said I skipped the first
Oh
one.
my
I think I
god.
did that.
Someone killed them and then started a fire to make it
That
look
was
like they
accidentally.
died in a
Oh, I
fire.
did skip the first
That's
one.
what I was thinking.
I
Why
was
were they in the
too crime.
garage?
That's
Out of
why
all
I
places.
This
Okay,
fight
wait, what did he say?
Oh, I did skip the first one. I want some true crime. That's why I skipped it.
This fire wasn't started to kill them. It was started to cover up their murder. And it did a good job of it too, as the scene was now left completely destroyed, with very little evidence being left behind.
Man charged with
But
murder.
there
and
was
all-
something else investigators thought to check. That's
Who did-
security footage. The camera had been facing the garage where all of this carnage seemed to have happened, and so they thought maybe if they looked back far enough, it could at the very least show what had led up to this brutal attack. And so they rewound that footage, going back hours and hours, during all of which the garage had remained perfectly still, until they got all the way back to 6:42 of the day prior, February 16th.
What? What? Is it?
Okay, what am I looking at here?
The film showed the moments that the couple had arrived home together inside of Christina's car, which
Okay.
Andrew had been driving that night, as he pulled uneventfully into the garage. This was the last time this couple was seen alive on camera, which on its own is disturbing enough. But as it turns out, there was something far more unsettling about this footage,
What?
as it revealed the fact that Christina and Andrew weren't alone.
Ha! Great advert placement there. Twat.
What?
Fucking these stupid adverts, bro. They always pop up at the most inconvenient
Bro, I hate
times.
watching things like this, man. Where did he come from?
It came from the shadows.
What the hell?
L ads, yeah, L ads. L ads on YouTube as well.
The footage showed a tall figure, its features completely shrouded in darkness, almost as if it were a shadow, with this figure lying in wait out of sight on the side of the house, until right after Andrew pulls the car into the garage,
How the hell did they not see?
when this person slips in
This
behind
dude.
them.
What
It's
the
impossible to say
hell?
for sure if the couple noticed this person or not.
How
but it
could they?
appears that
How could they not know? Look, the person's getting out there.
they likely didn't.
How can you not
as they
tell?
both start to exit the vehicle, to which the figure then ducks down in an attempt to avoid detection.
Did they both exit the same way? What? Didn't one exit that way, one exit that way? So, what the fuck?
Until the garage
Oh.
door begins to slowly close. Either Christina or Andrew would make it out of that garage alive, as just seconds after this footage, they both would be brutally murdered by this
I thought this was the day before.
unidentified person.
What? I thought this was the day
Right.
Which
before.
is terrifying and speaks to that innate fear in most of us. The fear of being followed, of being watched, and
Wait,
attacked in
I'm
the moment.
confused because one entered. If it's both of them, how did my man on this side not see him? You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's what I'm
How
saying.
did he not see him? Right? Or am I tripping? It's fake, bro.
Yeah.
Is that what? Is that everyone's answer to everything? It's fake.
I thought it
Maybe
was
because
fake
it's
as well,
a
but
figure.
that is
Take
just
off
too
your
weird, bro.
glasses. Bit of a smart analogy there. Exactly, because like, bro, how did you not see him? Right? AI. It's AI.
It's
Bro,
AI.
Everyone's it's fake or it's AI. Like, bro.
Everything's just
cooked,
AI.
Man. It's actually cooked. Man said shush. You shush, kid.
Moments when you least expected. It's paranoia-inducing, and made even more off-putting by the fact that this clearly seemed to be premeditated. Whoever this was knew their schedule and had been waiting for them to arrive home, in a place where they knew they wouldn't be seen.
You know what? Yeah.
But by
What's
this point-
psychotic is he waited in the snow, bro. Waiting in the snow is mental.
Their motivation was
What
as unknown
what
as
did they
their
do to
identity.
this
Following
person,
the
bro?
discovery of this
For
footage,
him to do all of
bits
this.
and pieces were released to the press in order to get the public's help in identifying this unknown assailant. It represented a rare instance of a killer being clearly caught on camera right before committing a crime. But that's also what made this case so
I have no
frustrating,
idea who
as
the hell
despite
that
the
is,
video
though.
capturing this person, none of their features were discernible at all. Unsurprisingly, the footage didn't bring in any relevant leads, but it at the very least showed investigators that whoever this person was knew the couple, due to its obvious premeditation. Though when looking into both Andrew and Christina, it was clear that neither of them really had any enemies in their life, with the exception of one.
Oh shit.
Harrison Brown was a 27-year-old employee at a company called Rogue Transportations, of which Christina happened to be the vice president of operations, and during his time there, Harrison was known to be abrasive and combative, with Christina often having to be the one to reprimand him.
Okay, wait. What does abrasive mean? Capable of polishing or cleaning a hard surface by rubbing or grinding. What? Showing little concern for the feelings of others. What? How can it mean two completely different things? What the hell? That's a
leading to
stupid ass
Harrison
word.
resenting her. It isn't clear how police were tipped off about this strained working relationship, but they had somehow grown suspicious enough of Harrison to pay his home a visit.
The chat saying he looks like Ty from
What they found
AFTV.
inside showed that this resentment he had towards Christina had actually morphed into a twisted obsession.
Wait,
Resentment
Let's go.
suspicious enough of Harrison to pay his home a visit, and what they found inside showed that this resentment he had towards Christina had actually morphed into a twisted obsession.
damn.
Inside, police
did she
found
do?
satellite images of the Rear-X home,
She just
along
tried
with
to.
the software on the man's computer and cell phone that showed that on the 12th of February, he had secretly attached a tracking device to Christina's car.
Okay,
And
well,
he had been
What?
tracking her movements for days.
Okay,
which
so
is
it was
precisely
clearly him
how he
then.
knew when she would be arriving home. And as if this revelation wasn't damning enough, they would also find a broken knife in his garage that contained trace amounts of Christina's blood.
he still had the
It was
knife.
obvious
What an
Harrison had
idiot!
done.
That
And
guy's
when
got to be the
confronted with
worst.
this evidence, there was nothing more he could say other
killer
than the truth. So
in the
he
history
admitted he had grown a hatred for Christina
the planet.
because of the way that she had treated him at work. And he decided that he needed to get his revenge. That's when he purchased this tracking device and began obsessing over
Yeah,
her
he is the
movements,
worst
studying them
criminal
before
in
finding
the history of
perfect
the
time and
planet.
place to strike. And
Man
on
still
February
had
16th, he waited
the murder
outside
weapon.
Rear-X home and snuck into their garage before attacking and killing them both. After the assault, Harrison would leave the home, where he began to grow paranoid about being
Bro.
caught, and so he returned to the house the very next morning to start that fight
Wait, what?
in their garage before attacking and killing them both. After
Okay.
the assault, Harrison would leave the home, where he began to grow paranoid about
Bro.
being caught, and so he returned to the house the very next morning to start that fire, with the hopes being that the blaze would cover up his tracks. Though thankfully, this didn't
Yeah, he
work.
dumb as
And
shit. He
after
didn't hide the
pleading guilty to
evidence.
2
What
counts
the
of
fuck?
first-degree murder and 1 count of arson.
You stupid
Harrison
as
Brown
fuck,
was
bro.
Man said tracking device. He's a Roblox employee. Man said tracking device. That's some mental work.
Yeah,
How was your hatred?
AirTag and shit.
Like, when you really think about it, like, what did they really do to him?
Yeah, I
for
can't
him
lie, it's
to-
never that
like,
deep, bro.
for him
It's
to just-
never that
yeah,
deep.
probably like an AirTag. But what did he really
doing
do
too
for them
much.
to be
He was
like,
doing
for him to be
too
so
much.
pissed? You know what I mean?
Too much, like TEW much. That's the whole vid, right? Okay. What Calogris sisters? They did a Squid Game. Wait. Someone in the chat that said, "Oh, they did Squid Game in real life." Okay, you know what? I might watch this. But yeah, WVid. What's it called? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that murderer is stupid as shit, bro. He's the worst, he's the worst guy ever. He's so dumb. Man kept the murder weapon. What was the first one? Tsunami. Yeah, gonna end it there. Love, guys.